Magic memories. It was a beautiful July afternoon in 2019 as I gathered with my family for our annual get-together in our beloved West Cork. We were all in Glandore on a magnificent sunny day, the water glistening like sapphires beneath a clear blue sky. It is on days like this I can easily connect to the joys of nature and the simple pleasures in life. I had an inner feeling of, all is well in my world, and I began to reflect on my many West Cork memories. We were a few miles from our father's home place, Seaview, near Union Hall. After Dad died in November of 2000, we all continued to visit his home place of West Cork as it held a special place in our hearts. The nostalgia it has for us is very precious, particularly when remembering summers in the 70s and 80s spent staying in the Brown House in Union Hall. It always seemed to be sunny. Holidays involved endless days of playing, swimming, eating and laughing, surrounded by loads of cousins and friends. It's interesting, I rarely remember it raining on these holidays, probably the rose-tinted glasses of childhood. Mom does recall one year of almost constant rain for 3 solid weeks. This was a challenge with 5 children and 0 modern conveniences of home, but Mom's sunny disposition was, as always, unfazed. As Mom was a Kilkenny woman and her 3 brothers were between the UK, Dublin and Tullamore, West Cork was our destination for significant celebrations and holidays. She was fully embraced and supported by my father's 3 sisters in West Cork, Betty, Elmer and Noreen. Visiting Betty, the eldest, who ran the West Cork Hotel in Skib, meant free lunches for the family on communions, confirmations and big holidays. My older brother Tig was the 21st grandchild on my father's side, the O'Driscolls. I have wonderful memories of when we were children visiting our large extended clan. I did have a brief phase in my mid-teens when I thought of it as Union Hall and really didn't want to go. Aside from this short phase of disenchantment, we all continued the tradition of West Cork holidays, particularly after my niece Grace was born in April 1995. Fado, in this month, in 1932, our father Tom was born. It was a home birth, which was the way most babies came into the world in those days. The inscription in Seaview's farm diary on that day, 9th of July, reads, "Fine," noting the weather. The next line reads, "Boy," stating a birth. A new addition to the family was of secondary importance to the weather in rural Ireland. Many happy memories of the 70s and 80s come flooding back to me on that glorious July day in 2019. Before any of the global drama that ensued in March 2020. Even though I write this in late 23, only a few years later, life seemed simpler back then. Languishing on a chair that day in Glandore, cold pint in hand, a vivid memory arose as I admired the 2 islands on the horizon, Adam and Eve. I saw myself as a child, perhaps 2.5. I'm on a large stone step, looking down at the sandy beach. It seems a long way down. I am at Kilbeg Beach in Union Hall. It is a beautiful sunny day. The small beach is packed with families, the sounds of children laughing, playing and splashing in the sea. I'm looking at the beach and I really, really want to jump off, but I'm feeling scared. I look around, take a deep breath and imagine jumping off the step onto the soft, warm sand. An enormous surge of excitement rises up in my tiny belly and I decide to just go for it. I leap into the air. Whee! I land perfectly on the sand. The freedom, the exhilaration, these are words my adult self has assigned to those feelings of little me. I am now an adventurer, I think. As the years rolled on, I moved to the higher and higher steps until eventually I would jump off the very top one. When I look at that first step as an adult, I smile as it is only inches high, but it gives me a sense of how big the world was to me as a small child. It seemed like a huge and brave thing to launch myself off the step onto the beach, and appears to have been quite a significant memory of mine as a child. One tiny jump for little Ro, one huge learning in my journey.